Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/Brews and Blasters. There's over 150,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Here we go.
You're listening to Brews and Blasters, RetroZap.com's free-ranging discussion about all things Star Wars.
How we doing?
Same as always.
That bad, huh?
With your hosts, Chris and Joe, two guys from Boston who are talking about this stuff anyway.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side, kid.
Let us go inside where we can discuss business over a drink.
Conversation anyway.
This place can be a little rough.
Not good.
I don't like this.
This is madness.
Would you join me for a little refreshment? Everyone's invited, of course.
I think you overestimate their chances.
No, not really, no.
I'm listening.
You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. We must be cautious.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Brews and Blasters, RetroZap.com's free-ranging discussion about all things Star Wars. My name to Joe. Wow, that's the type of night it has been, I have to tell you. Yeah, I have been running around, it's been all week, really. I've been running around like crazy. Work has been nuts. Trying to work on the site in my spare time, and it has just been a heck of a week. Let's try that one more time. My name is Joe. Chris is on assignment this week. He went down a pipe somewhere and hasn't been seen ever since. So he's probably in World 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know which one. But yeah, he's on assignment. We're going to see him next week. So I decided to join one of my very good friends, RetroZapper, the comic reviewer extraordinaire, Dennis Keithley. How are you, man?
I'm good, Joe. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm really, really sorry you had to sit through that entire completely destroyed intro, but that's kind of how it's going. And we're gonna rock and roll right through it.
Sounds good.
Sounds very, very good. So, Dennis, we're gonna talk about some comics. We're gonna talk about Star Wars. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. But first off, I just wanted to remind everybody about our contest that we have going on. Do you know about this one?
Which one are we talking about?
Oh yeah, well, we have a couple of things going on right now. We have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive First Order Stormtrooper contest.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Have you checked the prices on that on eBay? It's it keeps on growing by the week. I swear. I think the last time I saw it, it was around $125.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going up there. So these are rare. They were at San Diego Comic-Con. They were there for purchase, sold out almost immediately. They had one day online, and it sold out within minutes on a Hasbro toy shop about a month afterwards.
Is this the one that people were punching each other over?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we don't want to punch anyone. We don't want anyone to punch each other. We just want to give it away. I acquired one. I'm not going to say how, but I did. And I just want to give that away to somebody. So I think that's going to be it's going to be a great thing to do. And it's going to be a great thing to give away. So all you have to do to win this First Order Stormtrooper that is exclusive to San Diego Comic-Con is leave a review on iTunes, follow RetroZap and the Collector's Hut on Instagram, and then send us an email. Brews and Blasters at RetroZap.com with your name on iTunes and Instagram. And subject line on that is First Order Contest. That's all you have to do. And you'll be in the running. We're going to pick on October 6th, which will be the 1-year anniversary of RetroZap.com. So get your entries in now. We've had a bunch of people already submit. We're going to pick at random. I'm literally going to pick out of a hat. So we're going to try and do that on air. And it's going to be a good time. So unfortunately, Dennis, RetroZap people are not able to enter. We're going to try and give this away for our listeners. So unfortunately, you're not in the running, but we're going to take care of you.
Okay. Well, I'll just save my pennies and go after that one on eBay.
Oh man, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh man, yeah.
Those prices are getting ridiculous, though. Not even for the San Diego Comic-Con Black Series. I was looking on Amazon at Kylo Ren, and they wanted him for $80.
$80 for Kylo Ren?
Mm-hmm.
6-inch or 375?
The 6-inch.
Wow.
Phasma was going for $125.
That is unbelievable. And seriously, don't be looking on eBay. Like, anybody out there, do not look on eBay for this stuff. It is going to be available most likely by October. That is what we're being told. And definitely by the movie. So, they're just exorbitant prices. These are scalpers. They're taking a product that should be first and foremost for children and for collectors second, and they're jacking up these prices so nobody can afford them, and they're going to make a quick buck. And it's the worst. It really is. Nothing irritates me. Well, a lot of things irritate me, but that's one of the things right now that is irritating me quite a bit.
Yeah, I've heard you guys talk about it. The wiser thing to do is just make friends with your local Target or Toys R Us and find out when their shipments are coming in.
Yeah, that's
coming all the time.
It's the best thing to do. Make friends with the manager there. Make friends with someone on the ground who's stocking the shelves, and take time to learn their name, and maybe they'll give you some information. It's worked pretty well for me. So, yeah, all the people, believe it or not, I have a Radio Shack down the street from me, which is coming pretty good for podcasting. And I've been talking to them just about every week, and they have some BB-8 displays in their front signage that might have their home at the RetroZap studio over here. We're gonna see how that develops, but it's good. You will catch more flies with honey in this situation, so you definitely want to get that information out there.
So what is the BB-8 display at the Radio Shack?
What is that coming down?
No, what is it? I'm sorry, because I know the one at Target has its head that turns a little bit and it beeps at you when you walk down the aisle. What's the one at Radio Shack?
Oh, yeah, it's nothing that good. It's literally just a sign that says, this is the droid you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's Radio Shack. It's nothing fancy. I was actually, every time I go in there, I'm like, so have you guys got the word for you're closing yet, or what? They're like, no, we're totally staying open, as if nothing is going on with Radio Shack at all.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, it's odd. I'm like, every time I come in here, there's less and less on the shelves, but yeah, everything's fine, right? Okay. All right, if you say so.
Yeah, they kind of open those to close really
Oh,
nice.
yeah, they really do. It's this one has been around for a long time, but I don't understand how. It's kind of funny. If I'm not in there buying a cable here and there for podcast stuff, it's I don't know who's going in there. They didn't have the BB-8 on Force Friday either. I don't know when they got it in, but it was sometime after Force Friday and before yesterday. So, yeah. But yes, that BB-8 sign will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine. All right. So Dennis, let's enough about us. Let's talk about you.
Okay.
All right, man. I've heard you on a few podcasts before. I was trying to think, how did we even start talking? How did you join the RetroZap team? I don't quite remember.
Well, let me think. I know that I heard you on a couple of podcasts before I even heard Brews and Blasters. And then I read the article about Padme not dying of a broken heart.
Yeah, the no broken heart one. Yep.
Right, that was pretty famous. And I think you were talking about needing people to blog or write articles, and I cited him. I need to do something about comics.
Cool, you answered the call. Yeah, right around January, I put out that call for open call for writers, and you that was it. I woke up one day and I was thinking, I'm like, how did Dennis even join the team? And I'm like, I kind of feel like he's been like one of the right hand men and women by my side at RetroZap for a while now. Definitely one of the first writers to join the team. So it's been great to have you along for this crazy ride.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Definitely. So Dennis, if you don't know, Dennis writes comic reviews for RetroZap each and every week on all of the Star Wars comics published by Marvel. He was started right as the new canon began and has been doing extensive reviews, not just like this was good, you should buy it type reviews. I'm talking in-depth, extensive reviews and analysis on every issue. We're talking plots, we're talking themes, characters. Everything is broken down meticulously, and it's a pleasure to read, and you should all be checking them out.
Oh, yeah. That was very kind.
Yeah, well, we're big fans over here. For sure.
You're very polite. I like doing it. The thing that I like to do is try and figure out how they fit in the canon. And the one I wrote today for the new canon was actually one of my favorites that I've done so far.
Cool.
I found that there was actually some similarities between Kanan and Anakin. Mainly with they both had a planet that they didn't particularly enjoy, and sometime they were forced to return there.
That's right. So
what the effect was.
So for Kanan, that would probably be Planet Kala, right? Yeah, you're gonna love that from the Boston accent, right? Kala. Have you seen that YouTube video of the guy fishing and they see a sunfish? It's blowing up virally around Boston right now, and it's a guy from around my area, and he's on a boat, and they see a massive sunfish, which are these like big flat 20-foot long fish that just like float on the top of the ocean. And this guy's just like, "Oh my God, Jay! Look at that fish! What is that?" It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
Look it up. Look it up when we're off the air. It's just look at Boston guy fish, and you'll definitely come up with it. It's hilarious.
That's YouTube?
Yeah, that's on YouTube. It's everywhere right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Good stuff. So, I had something to ask you. as I derail myself right now. So Kanan and Anakin being on, kind of having those different planets that they disliked. So yeah, I mean, very, very interesting.
Well, yeah. The Anakin returned to a place that he couldn't wait to get away from. He already had an attachment to his mom.
Right.
And then you have Kanan, who didn't discover himself until he got to college with his master, Deppo. And once he found peace, it was stripped away from him by Order 66. I think I did this a lot better in the article I wrote today, so I'm going to leave it for that. But it was one of these reviews that kind of wrote itself.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. What do you think about the art in that issue? I noticed that there was a marked difference from the past couple of issues.
It took me a page or two to realize that there was a difference, and I kept wondering, why does everything look off? And then I went back and I looked and I saw that it was somebody different. And I liked Pepe Larraz's work a lot better than what was in this issue.
Yeah, it seems a little bit more comic, a little more cartoon, and I'm not sure how that's going to hold up with the Kanan story. If it's going to lend the same credibility that the older story did.
The thing that bothered me the most was Hera's Lacoon.
Really?
Absolutely enormous.
Really?
I thought she was going to tip over.
Oh man, I haven't read this book yet. I've only seen the review and the images you sent over. I can't wait to read it. But yeah, it just looks off, the art, and I hope they maybe by the second issue they kind of got it in check. But yeah, hopefully maybe it's just a transitional sort of writer, and we'll move on to kind of bigger and better things soon.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's it's just not fitting. So another, generally you're pretty good with most of the comics. You like most of them, but I know you're not loving Lando.
I'm really not. I don't know exactly why it is, but it's just not my favorite. I don't think they just got a great story.
Really? No, honestly, this is one of the ones we have to disagree with, because I am loving that story so far. I haven't read the latest issue. I'm behind on all my week's comics, but the first 3 issues I was really, really into. The characterization of Lando and Lobot, the story they're thrust into. I don't know. I just think it's a great slice of life for who Lando Calrissian was, and it might not be like a pivotal story in canon, and it may not be a pivotal story for Lando, but it's just a great Star Wars adventure in my opinion. And I don't know, I love the art. I think it's kind of like a love it or hate it type of thing, where some people may not love like all the brash color and maybe the sketchy lines, but it's drawing me in like no other comic is doing right now.
Well, the thing that bothers me is the timing. In the last issue, Lando and Lobot, the rest of them were all on the Emperor's ship, and they just stumble upon the Royal Guard, and Lobot gets run through. Sorry for spoilers. And in the meantime, Chanath Chaw, this Boba Fett knockoff, is halfway across the galaxy, and then all of a sudden she catches up. And so, I don't know. I'm not buying the timing, and the suspension of disbelief is just not there for me.
You have a good point with the timing. Everything seems to just kind of pile on whenever it's convenient for the page, which is probably something to think about. You don't like the Bounty Hunter either, but kind of a Boba Fett knockoff?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spoil the current issue, but that changes a little bit. But I just looked at that and thought, well, that was another attempt to copy the success of Boba Fett.
Now, what I saw was more of like the Rocketeer, like a guy who Boba Fett almost wished he was. A little bit more graceful, a little bit more sleek, a little bit better at his job than Boba Fett ever was. He didn't seem like he struggled at all. So,
well, that's killing me too, because I really like the idea that Boba Fett is supposed to be the best bounty hunter in the galaxy.
But there's no evidence for that.
Yeah, he's really inept at his job.
What's that?
He's really inept.
Yeah, I mean, he might be okay. He might be like, what if Boba Fett was just like kind of like the C-level student, right? Like he's really good and he's really cool, but I mean, this is the Emperor's bounty hunter. Like this is the guy like the Emperor goes to that no one even knows. He's not part of like the crew that hangs out down at the bar, kind of, just doing their thing and not really worrying about being a little bit more than average. And this guy is out there in a whole different class, just getting the jobs done for elite people.
Yeah, I guess there's something to be said for being on the Emperor's speed dial.
Yeah, right? Like, right. He's definitely on there, and he's, he literally drops everything when Palpatine calls.
Anything and anyone.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you read that issue, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But
yeah, and I guess if you're going to be working for Jabba, there's probably a reason.
Yeah, right? I mean, Jabba, it's almost like a joke of being like some very important person. He has himself all, pumped up to be the great and illustrious Jabba and, magnificent and loves to hear all this stuff, but he's really just still a slug on Tatooine, some backwater planet with, a bunch of degenerates hanging around sleeping on his property.
Okay, you're starting to bring me around. When you're the Emperor, you can afford the best bounty hunter. Pardon me. And if you're Jabba, you have a lot of bounty hunters, not because you need them. Well, you do need them because none of them are very good. Yeah, like you need a whole crew of them, and they, don't they have like their own like kind of little guild as well? I know they did the EU. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not huge on the EU, but I think there was a passing mention made of it. Maybe in the Clone Wars towards the end. Yeah, there may have been. Did you know there was one in Aftermath?
That's it. Yeah, there was. That's where I found it. So, yeah, I think there's something there for being kind of that sea-level bounty hunter who, has a little gang, hangs out with a bunch of people down at Jabba's, not really trying to do any better than they need to get the job done. And then you have this A-list guy who's totally off the record, only serves the elites, and has the best armor, has the best weapons, and knows how to get the job done for real.
Yeah, I guess you could also put Greedo in Boba Fett's class.
Oh,
you all know what happened to him.
Greedo, barely a bounty hunter. Let's be honest here. I watched A New Hope recently, and I really picked apart Greedo's dialogue. You ever pay attention to exactly what Greedo's saying? Most of the time, especially for the past 20 years, all we're worrying about is who's shooting first. And, at this point, I could give a damn less about who's shooting.
Yeah, me too.
I'm watching, I've been listening to the dialogue that Greedo is actually saying. He's not trying to bring Han to Jabba the Hutt at all. He's trying to rob him. Think about that for a second. He's trying to rob. Making it up. Yeah, he's like, okay, give me the bounty you need for Jabba, and maybe I'll forget that I saw you. Maybe. He's just trying to rob him. I don't even know if he's a bounty hunter. He just walks by and is like, give me all your money, and I won't tell Jabba that I saw you. I'm not working for Jabba at all. I'm just, I'm going to kill you and take your money. That's literally all that Greedo is trying to do.
Yeah, and then you get that special edition scene with Jabba confronting Han.
And then he's...
Why do you have to fry poor Greedo?
Yeah, he's even looking down at him. Oh, you had to fry poor Greedo,
That poor kid.
Yeah. Let's be honest. That's probably... I don't... There's very little about the special editions I really have problems with, but it's the Jabba scene in A New Hope. I'm kind of turning the corner and saying it's probably not necessary.
I agree. The part of the problem with it is it even muddles the Han shot first thing even more. Because if Han was confident enough to walk into the landing bay where Jabba was waiting, why did he have to worry about Greedo bringing him?
Yeah. Why is Greedo in the background again, too? I mean, I guess another Greedo dressed exactly like him. But it's just odd. Jabba's never looked right by the CG as well. Just never looked right. So, and I love the reveal of Jabba in Return of the Jedi. I think that's where he belongs. I love the talk about Jabba, heard but not seen for the first 2 episodes, and then we get this. We finally find out what and who Jabba is, and it's a gross slug. That's awesome. For that to be kind of leaked in episode 4 is just, it takes some of the magic away.
So does it bother you that he's in episode 1?
No, not really. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know. I think that if you're watching 4, 5, 6 first, then it's not a big deal. If you're watching 1, 2, 3, I don't know. There's far less things to really be worried about in that respect. I don't know. I think if you're watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for the very first time, it's not really just you don't really kind of worry about that sort of thing.
Now that you mentioned it, I don't think I've ever thought about Jabba's reveal from Return of the Jedi until now, but you're right.
Yeah. We haven't really talked about your, I don't want to say your Star Wars story, but kind of what your connection to the movies are, when you saw them first, what, how did you come to Star Wars?
Oh, that was the first movie I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah, I was 3.
No kidding.
Yeah, my dad took me, and I fell asleep on his lap.
So
the first time I can remember seeing it, I was at a drive-thru.
That's awesome. So you're a couple of years older than me. You're not that many years older than me. I think you're maybe about 5 or 6. If you're 3 and 77...
41.
You're 41? Okay, You're 6 years older than me. That's cool. All right, so you got more of, like Empire and Jedi than I did, because I had the experience that you had of A New Hope in Return of the Jedi. I was 3 years old and I fell asleep, and I remember waking up for the speeder bike chase and the Ewoks. That's when I woke up.
Wake up for?
Yeah. I think I remember Tatooine, and then I fell asleep for a while, and then I woke up again, and yeah, it was speeder bikes, and that was cool.
You know, Return of the Jedi was the one I remember the most really getting into. Because when I would go to the Target or Walmart or someplace like that, that's when I first saw the action figures on the pegs.
Yeah.
And I was wondering who they were. It's kind of like what we're doing now with The Force Awakens.
I love that feeling. I love the who is that and what purpose do they serve? Where are they in the movies? You got to remember, too, back in the 80s, you didn't get to see it all the time. You couldn't go watch it for reference either. You either spotted the person while you're watching the movie, or you had to wait. There were no rewind buttons anywhere. So you either watch that movie in the theater, or, you know, if it played on TV a few years later on like USA, you had to watch it there. And then, you know, good luck. If you found Death Star Droid, you found Death Star Droid. But that's about it.
Oh, and then what you did is you rented it from the local video store, made your own copy, and wore it out.
Oh, yeah, we did that too. But that came later. That was more like the mid to late 80s right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Star times.
Yeah. And we're talking like 83, 84, 85. There was no way to watch it other than the movie theaters.
So did you play Star Wars as a kid? And I'm not talking with toys. I'm talking as, who was Luke, who was Han Solo?
Oh, yeah. That was one of the, you know, pretty much that's all I did when I went outside. I would grab a stick. I literally just grabbed a stick as my toy. That was my lightsaber. I'd walk around with that stick in my backyard, and I was Luke Skywalker. And yeah, that's what I did. When I rode my bike around my neighborhood, that was a speeder bike.
Yeah.
And it, like, literally, when I heard that song by Glenn Nelson in High Adventure, The Circle Is Now Complete, I was like, oh my God, this is my life. Like, seriously, that's literally a lyric. I'm like, that's what I did. That's exactly what I did. So, yeah, I played Star Wars, yeah, to this day. I just went over to my parents' house earlier today. My parents gave me a little gift. They gave me, like, one of those Funko, like, plush Funkos of Yoda. I'm like, okay, thank you. Not my birthday, not nothing. They're like, hey, we got this for you. I'm like, that's cool.
That's cool, but I didn't know they made plush Funkos.
Yeah, it's like soft goods Funko of Yoda. He looks cool. He's holding a lightsaber. He stands upright pretty well, and yeah, he has this mean look in his face. He's ready to throw down.
Speaking of Funko, are you doing the Smuggler's Bounty?
I am not a big Funko collector. I'm not a Funko collector at all at this point. But it looks cool, I got to tell you.
Yeah, I'm doing the Marvel one right now, and not so much for the Funkos, but the exclusive variant covers on the comics, and then there's usually a T-shirt in there as well.
Yeah, those are pretty cool. My daughter does Loot Crate, and she loves that. That's pretty cool. See, she gets variants in there. It's pretty much the same thing. It's all these subscription box services that give you all these type of different swag, pretty much. You might get a Funko toy. You might get a T-shirt. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, yeah, what are you getting in the Marvel one?
The Marvel one usually comes with 2 different vinyl things, a comic book, a T-shirt, and usually a pin and a pouch.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah. What do you have for Funko?
I don't have that many. Just the ones I've got through the box, the subscription box.
Cool.
So I've got the Hulkbuster and Ant-Man and the new Thor.
Not bad.
Yeah.
No, not bad at all. That's cool. So are they on display? Do you have a Star Wars room?
My office is also my Star Wars room.
Awesome. I want to see your office someday. I'm very curious because yeah, like if I were to walk into your office and see that stuff displayed, I would be like, this is the guy for me that I want. I want in my council.
Yeah, well, right now it's kind of in disarray because I was going to put up shelves and that didn't happen. And so I've got some of the books out. Most of my collection is Lego. And some of those are out, some of those are stashed in the closet. So it's kind of getting to a fence.
That's awesome. I love Lego, but once it's built, I don't know what to do with it. I have nowhere to put it on display. I love building them, but it's kind of rough. So yeah,
they take a lot of room.
What's that?
They take up a lot of room, and they're very fragile.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Yeah, any passing glance or a little brush could send things flying. So yeah, I kind of steer clear of the Lego these days, but yeah, huge right now, and not as hard to find in a lot of ways as the Hasbro stuff.
No, not by much yet.
No. Yeah, like I know, like I can pretty much still pick up a Lego Ghost, but I've never saw the Hasbro Ghost in real life.
I've only seen it once or twice.
Yeah, it's crazy. How's speaking of Hasbro, how's the Hasbro collecting doing for you down in Texas?
It's there. I haven't seen much. I think I went hunting a week ago and didn't find much at all except for the Rebels, Vader, and Ahsoka.
Yeah. I've the stores have been bare. I haven't found anything around here for a good long while. So I'm really hoping that there's a better shipment coming in. Getting a little worried as the weeks go by, and I'm not seeing a lot of restock. I did see the Desert Walker vehicle this week, so that was kind of new. I'm not going to get a lot of vehicles, but it was great to see that at least something new on the shelf, albeit not a 3 3/4 selection. So we're gonna do what we can, right?
What size was that?
The Desert Walker, it was a vehicle. It was, they're all packaged the same size. It was about the size of the new speeder.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. I saw the Poe Dameron with some sort of speeder that was the 12-inch the other day, and I had never heard anything like that.
Really? Poe Dameron with a speeder, huh?
Yeah, it looked like he was on Jakku, and he had either a flight helmet on or some other helmet. I can't remember.
Very interesting. Was it the same helmeted Poe as the 3.75 scale, or was it the one that where I've seen 3 versions of Poe right now? I've seen the Poe with like the casual gear, Poe with like a flight helmet like cemented on, and then Poe with a removable helmet that only comes with the X-Wing fighter.
This one was in the box, and so it was kind of hard to tell. I don't know if the helmet came off or not. But it looked to me, it was like kind of a standard 12-inch, and I don't think the helmet did, but that's just a guess.
I getcha. Wow. So, what do you say we give away an Oppo Award?
Let's do it.
All right. Hold on, I need some music for this. All right. Oppo Award this week goes to... Let me find him.
It's a major award, Jeff.
It is a major award! I just lost him. Let's see. Pick him at random here. Texas Rado. These guys are great. Makes me want to sit back and open a cold one, talk Star Wars. Except I might listen at work. Might have to change my listening habits. All right, I love it. That's awesome. What do you drink?
Right now.
Yeah, what are you drinking tonight, Dennis?
Shiner Bock.
Oh,
folks at Spotswood Brewery.
Gotta love it. That's an older brand, right?
You know, I only discovered it when I moved to Texas.
No kidding.
Yeah, I never saw it in St. Louis.
I'm drinking some Bullet Rye right now, which I love. Nice and ice cold. It's very refreshing and a delicious drink. So that's kind of my drink of choice right now. But yeah, I've had some good beer lately. Pumpkin beer is big around here right now. So we get the pumpkin beer for fall, And it's been, inundated. I think by November I'm probably going to be sick of it. But yeah.
Pumpkin's gonna be in everything.
Oh yeah, right. Pumpkin or pumpkin spice, right? It's a different flavor. 'Cause pumpkin spice doesn't actually have to have any pumpkin in it. It's just kind of like cinnamon and nutmeg.
That's true.
Yeah. So, all right. So, TX Rayado, that is you're the Oppo Award winner. Look for your award on Twitter. We're gonna be posting that. And I'm a little behind. We're gonna find the last 2 weeks Oppo Awards coming very, very soon. So look on Twitter. We're gonna post them there, and it's a major award. To be entered into the Oppo Awards, all you have to do is leave an iTunes review. We're gonna pick them every single week. So
speaking of Oppo,
yeah,
did you see his most recent appearance?
I have heard about him. I have not seen it yet.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me?
He was in the last issue of Star Wars, although briefly.
That is true. I saw the screenshot for that.
Did I send that one to you?
You might have, yeah.
Okay, so I was going to just for your and Chris's sake.
Oh yeah, he's in there. He is a Force ghost and looking as awesome as ever. Yeah, I can't believe it that. Of all the characters to choose, they chose Oppo to bring back as a Force Ghost, right?
Well, he wasn't actually a Force Ghost.
No?
No, that was from a holocron.
Oh. So he could be alive.
Possibly.
That was very Obi-Wan of you right now.
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Yeah. No, just wait, it's impossibly. Obi-Wan says it very, very uniquely in Attack of the Clones, right? He's like,
that's true.
Yeah, possibly. I love it. So I can't wait. I really should have caught up my comics before we got on, but I'm definitely gonna do that tonight. That is my goal to probably take like 30 minutes and to rip through this week and last week's all new comics. So that's gonna be great because I hate getting behind. I'm also collecting Marvel comics too, and I've been collecting the Secret Wars crossover, and I am so far behind. I can't even tell you.
I gave up on that, and now I'm just trying to catch them on the Marvel Unlimited app.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I was the nut who decided to try and collect them all. I did the Pokemon thing.
That's a lot of comics.
That's a lot of comics, man. That's a lot of comics. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I even saw the schedule. Yeah, they're piled up. I think I'm on like week 6, which is like way back in like June or July. So
yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I don't even know. So I have a lot of comics waiting for me right now. It's not good. So I'm all backed up. I'm gonna be reading Secret Wars till I'm like 50. I don't know.
I heard it's really good.
It's been good. Some books are better than others. I will say that. The main story and the main characters going through the books are pretty good, but some of the ancillary books are kind of hit or miss.
I've only read the Spider-Man one, which is Renew Your Vows.
Yeah, really good.
And then the other Spider comic, Spider-Verse, is
That's wacky. That's the one with Spider-Ham, right?
Yeah, and the art's not particularly great.
No, it's not particularly great, and it's kind of weird.
The best thing about that series is the covers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they're crazy. Yeah, the two I really got turned off on was MODOK Assassin, and anything with Scotty Young. I am not a big fan. I'm just not a big fan of Scotty Young at all.
Yeah, you know what's funny about that is that was the name of the firm that I used to work at.
Really?
It's Scott Young.
That's funny. Am I saying it right? Is it Skottie, right? It's Scotty.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Dennis, I don't know if anyone really knows that you are also a lawyer by day.
By day.
Yeah, and not only a Star Wars scholar, but also a very accomplished lawyer as well. It's funny. I do remember when when we were first talking, I was like, I usually ask people for a sample, kind of like a little bit of experience with writing, just kind of gauge where they are in their, in their writing ability. And I'm like, so have you ever written anything much? And do you remember what you told me?
Oh, yeah. I sent you a brief.
Yeah, you sent me a brief. You're like, well, I wrote this for the Supreme Court. I'm like, oh, yeah, I think you're okay. I think you'll do just fine. I'm pretty sure. It's pretty awesome. So
yeah, that was one of my favorites. That's the only one that I keep at home.
Yeah, and well, you should, because that's something to be very, very proud of. Definitely a massive highlight for sure.
From a galaxy far away, it's Brews and Blasters, Rebel Scum and IPAs. It's Brews and Blasters, Sith and Jedi agree. It's the only podcast that you need. Tell your droid to dim the lights. It's Brews and Blasters tonight.
The best. Thank you again, Luke Schreiber, for that amazing theme song. I love it every single time I hear it.
Yeah, they do good work.
Great work. Hey, Dennis, you want to talk about audible.com?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. That was loud. Oh, this show's falling apart, man. So, we're talking about audible.com. For listeners of Brews and Blasters, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. You can check out Star Wars Aftermath by Chuck Wendig, or any of the other Journey to the Force Awakens audiobooks, or any other book that they have on the service for free by going to audibletrial.com/brewsandblasters. They have over 150,000 titles to choose from, so you can find anything you want out there. You want a mystery? They got them. You want sci-fi? They got them. You want nonfiction? They got those too. So Audible is one of the most transformative services that I've had in probably the past 10 years. I went from reading little to no books just because how busy I was to reading a ton within 1 year. I look back over all the audiobooks I listened to, and yeah, I use listen and read interchangeably when I talk about audiobooks. So I'm in depth and I'm paying attention to everything that's going on. But I look back on my past year, and it blows me away how much I was able to consume and how many books I was able to get through in series. Even I'm talking like 12 book series. So if you get some time in your hands, audiobooks are the way to go. Dennis, do you ever partake in the audiobook?
Not as much as I should, but I take the train every day, so that would be a great idea.
It is a great idea. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and sometimes I have to temper my podcast and put down the podcast for a while to, engross myself in a good audiobook. And I'm talking like some of the Star Wars ones are amazing in that they do almost full drama productions with backing sound effects and music to go along with amazing narration. So you're getting an amazing Star Wars experience every time you listen to a Star Wars audiobook that you're not going to have anywhere else. So give it a try. And if you don't have Audible, Dennis, go to audibletrial.com/brewsandblasters, and you can get a free audiobook there. And any of you can too. So once again, audibletrial.com/brewsandblasters for your free audiobook. And we're back. Oh man, I don't know why I say that when I never go anywhere. You know? Yeah.
Just gotta remind everyone you're here.
I enjoy it though. So not gonna go away anytime soon.
So we still haven't talked about the video on Facebook.
No, we haven't, but now we just did. Let's move on. Yeah. No, we got to talk about it. Dennis, you sent me a direct message on Twitter yesterday and like, oh, we're gonna have plenty to talk about tonight. I'm like, what about? I'm like, yeah, the video on Facebook. I'm like, what video on Facebook? What are you talking about? And I thought it was a new trailer. I was like, oh no, it dropped, because I was like knee deep. I was like neck deep in work at that point, and I couldn't stop to do anything. And I was like, of all the times to release a trailer would be probably the most inopportune. But you pointed me to this 300-degree interactive experience. I don't even want to call it a video because it's not a video in the way that it's telling any sort of story. It's something immersive. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And you go on Facebook and they have it there exclusively. Some sort of proprietary player is playing it, and you're able to look around this video as if you were actually in it. You can kind of pull and drag the screen, and you're able to look in left, right, up, down, and back of you, in front of you, and it's all from the vantage point of Rey's speeder on Jakku. So you're seeing the downed Star Destroyer, you're seeing junk. I saw Baba Joe in back of me when I did it. Dennis, what did you see? What did you think of this entire experience?
Well, the first time it came up on Facebook, I thought it was a preview for Battlefront. The Jakku world that they were adding to it. And so I just said, whatever, I'm not downloading Battlefront. I'm not getting that game just yet.
Yeah.
And when I came back.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just came back and they were talking about this 360-degree video, and I still didn't get it. I just watched the whole thing go past the Star Destroyer. This is amazing.
You're like, yeah, for real. I'm looking for the Easter eggs. I haven't seen any yet, aside from, Baba Joe in the background. But I'm looking for...
What's the Baba Joe?
Baba Joe is that guy who came out during J.J. Abrams' first video for Force for Change last year.
Oh.
With all the little guys like walking around and the real puppet that walked on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. That they gave him a name at God, it must have been San Diego Comic-Con, and they gave him a name. His name is Baba Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, Bobbajo.
My favorite part is the speeder goes past some wreckage on the right, and I think there's a camp set back up there, and a speeder comes screaming out of it up on your right side, and they kind of scream at you and then fly off.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I only looked left.
No, you gotta look right too.
Oh no, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, it looks like, at first I thought one was a Tuscan because it kind of had a gaffy stick, but it's clearly not.
Yeah, no, those Jakku people seem to have like a lot of staves involved. Rey has a staff. Now I'm getting my plurals all mixed up. But yeah, she has a staff, and I don't know, it just seems like something that the entire culture sort of uses from everything I've seen.
Yeah, and I was trying to figure out if these guys were chasing you off because you were invading their scavenging side or what was going on.
Oh, right.
We're not happy with you being there.
Like prospectors or something.
Yeah, like maybe a plank jumper.
Yeah. What's interesting, it's kind of gone under the radar the past few weeks. If you read Aftermath, you realize that all of those Jakku is Tatooine rumors are kind of debunked now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jakku is really its own planet, and they make it abundantly clear in Aftermath.
Well, and have you read the Princess Leia book?
Yes.
And at the end of that...
Oh, I'm sorry, no, I haven't read the Princess Leia, I'm sorry, Moving Target, no, I have not read that yet.
Okay, well, without giving away too much, they make it clear that Jakku is someplace different there.
Yeah, like they're going out of their way to make a lot of things clear in these books. As we journey to The Force Awakens. Yeah, it's very, very interesting how that all sort of seemed to die away very quickly.
Kind of glad.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's almost liberating, right? We're really in a new space that has its own identity and its own dynamics. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to get another desert planet that's really going to be whacked out even further away from the core than Tatooine was. It seems like it's really on the edge of any known space, like way beyond the Outer Rim.
Well, and what was Luke's line about Tatooine, that if there was a bright center of the universe, that Tatooine was the planet that was farthest from?
Yeah.
And so, if that's the case, then how does everything keep happening there?
Yeah.
And so now we get a planet, which makes a little more sense. We could have something else happen.
Well, let's really think about that. We're hearing that from a 20-year-old kid in A New Hope, and who's never been off that planet, doesn't really know anything else about anywhere else. And he's saying that because, nothing good happens to him from a very, very selfish and self-centered point of view, that Tatooine is the place it's furthest from. So, are we actually talking like in the galaxy that's where Tatooine's from? No! If you think about it, Tatooine isn't that far away from all the action at all. When your ship goes down, trying to escape from Naboo, where do you find yourself? Look, Master, this is a small planet right there, Tatooine. Right?
Yeah, it's controlled by the Hutts.
Yeah, it's controlled by the Hutts, the gangsters. So it's not that far away from where a lot of the action's happening. Wasn't that far away from Naboo at all. Wasn't on the other side of the galaxy for that matter. So, yeah, I think with Jakku, we're finding something really far out there, really exotic culture, really exotic characters that we've never seen, and that's really exciting to me.
And now I just remembered the scene from Aftermath that we were talking about that really established how far away it was.
Right? Like, edge of known space, things happening there, or nothing happening there. Like, nothing is happening at all times. Like, it is a place for lost souls, really. So
now I gotta know what's gonna happen there.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's clearly a lot of things going on Jakku in this new movie. Where to go by all the armor and the location characters. So, yeah. You go.
I was gonna say, you know what else this video reminded me of?
What's that?
It was the Star Tours down in Disney World, Disneyland.
Yeah, that's true. And I gotta tell you, if you don't think this wasn't made for virtual reality headsets coming down the line, you're crazy. Because that's what this is absolutely designed to do. It's a proof of concept for virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's cool to look at on your screen and drag around, but in a couple of years, we're going to be looking at Star Wars and headsets, turning around and being able to actually really immerse ourselves in it. And that's pretty awesome. And
that'll be a lot better. Because I found trying to manipulate this on the video screen was kind of difficult.
A little bit difficult, not the greatest way to experience it. So being able to turn our heads and see a little bit of this, a little bit of that, super quick is going to be way better. A couple of months ago, I had the opportunity to check out a virtual reality headset, and it is as awesome as everyone has ever said. Oculus is pretty damn cool. So, and it's happening. It's going to be on the market in just a few years, and there's a lot of companies developing them. So, yeah, Star Wars is going to be in VR, and it's going to be pretty cool.
I just saw today that they were developing Netflix for that.
Really?
Yeah, you'll be able to watch Netflix in a virtual living room.
Oh, what am I thinking? It's all coming together. Guess who owns Oculus? Facebook. Yeah. So Facebook, of course Facebook will do this. Oh, it makes perfect sense now why it's Facebook exclusive. Oh, all right. Dennis, you're really keen, though. You're uncovering a lot of things. Pretty good. Oh, man. Well, we're running a little short on time here. Let's see. What else do we have left here? Well, I just wanted to say one thing about the Satchel player for Android. We're on there. Satchel is pretty cool new podcast app. It's completely free. It's not freemium, and there are absolutely no third-party audio or on-screen ads. Check it out. They're trying something new. It's in open beta right now, and it's only for Android. So go to satchelplayer.com and find it there. It's on the Android Google Play store, so you'll be able to find that there too. I've used it. I like it, and I look to see what the team over at Satchel has in store coming up in the future. So, yeah, check it out, Dennis. You might like that as well. What do you use right now currently for a podcast stuff?
I use the podcast app on the iPhone.
Oh, how you liking that? I'm hearing there's problems.
You know what? Your all's podcast is the only one that ever shorts it out.
Really? Our podcast blows up.
I don't know why. It's just I listen to you guys when I walk the dog in the morning, and sometimes it just stops. And I turn right back on. It's fine.
Oh man, we break the podcast up.
Just so much awesomeness.
Oh man, I don't think that's it, but I don't think that's it at all. But we're gonna have to look at that. Which brings us to a good idea. If you have feedback for us, any of you out there, the email address is brewsandblasters@retrozap.com, and we want to hear from you. If the show's blowing up your iTunes, or if the show's blowing up your podcast apps, let us know. We probably want to take care of that. Or if you have any questions for us, or if you have just pretty much anything to say, let us know. We want to hear from you. brewsandblasters@retrozap.com. Couple of site updates too to RetroZap, where we've introduced some new navigation, and a lot of the shows on the RetroZap network are getting their own pages. So you're going to be able to click on that and go to all of the episodes there very easily. So we have the Collector's Hut just launched their own page, the Trade Federation as well. So you're going to find everything you need to know about those shows right there. We Know Nothing will be coming soon as well. And if you don't know, We Know Nothing is a Game of Thrones podcast that I do with my good buddy Kevin Rappelberg. So that's pretty cool, and it should be pretty good. And look for more updates to RetroZap in the future as we approach the 1 year anniversary. Dennis, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out tonight.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. We had a real good time. So, thank you so much, everyone else, for listening to Brews and Blasters. Like I just said, brewsandblasters@retrozap.com. If you had a good time, leave us a review on iTunes. It's a great way to help out the show. And you'll also be in the running for an Oppo Award, as we said earlier. So it's kind of a no-brainer there. Chris can be found at collectorshut.com. Don't forget the when you search for him. And you can find all his Collecting Hut reviews there. He's also on RetroZap.com, which is your home for pop culture madness. But it's mostly Star Wars right now. We have original articles from great writers like Dennis, editorials, reviews, podcasts, and videos. And the team over there is just spectacular. Brews and Blasters on Twitter. You know we're there. We're always tweeting everything that we possibly can. Brews and Blaster, leave off the S. RetroZap is on there. Add a PED. And you can also find me at Joey Wan Kenobi. Dennis, you're what are you? DVK?
Close. DJK.
DJK VER2.
Yeah, and that's probably going to change.
That's probably okay. Look him up.
That's left over from AOL Instant Messenger.
Oh my God, that is a different topic for a different story, and we're gonna have to talk about that very, very soon. I'm not even gonna tell you what my my old AOL screen names was back in my old metal days. It was it got pretty interesting. Yeah. But if you look for him on Twitter, he's Dennis Keithley, E before I. Don't make the same mistake I did. RetroZap is on Instagram, Facebook, Google+, Periscope, Tumblr, Pinterest, and SoundCloud. Look for us there. Brews and Blasters is all on those things too. So you're going to find us all over the place. That's a wrap for tonight. For Dennis Keithley, I'm Joe Tavano. May the Force be with you guys. We'll see you next week.
I'm afraid the party's canceled, the summits never show. I know I was penciled, I was foreboding no. Force getting ready, man began too much. All the woman suffer, the wicked clutch.